That's like May 6th, I think.
You know, if Ben Askren can really hang with Jordan Burroughs still,
dude, insane.
Because everybody who rolls with him, I never even clinched with him, but everybody who's done everything with him, like the closest I came to a clinch is like that hug you do when you hug a dude.
Get the over under a little bit just to feel it out.
But they say that it's like he's got 4 arms. They say, dude, it's ridiculous.
Oh, I've heard
Dean Thomas was telling me.
Yeah.
Dean Thomas is saying, dude, it's ridiculous.
I've
it's
heard
like it doesn't even make sense.
Mollywops, world champions, we all know.
Yeah, just ragdolls people. That's how good his wrestling is. I mean, if you see that fight with Robbie Lawler, the fucking bombs that guy took.
It's fucked up.
And the fact that he still figured out a way to get a hold of Robbie Lawler's neck. That he still figured out a way to get him into that headlock once, and Robbie knew he wanted to clinch with him. He couldn't keep him off.
Dude, I was sweating in that fight because you and I hyped him up so much. I was like, oh, please don't get starched in the first round.
It's still a super controversial ending to me.
What you had Herb on? What did he say?
Well, Herb said that first of all, Herb Dean is the shit.
Nice guy.
Couldn't be nicer.
Great guy.
But I love his perspective. He's so laid back, and his ego is so healthy. Like when he talks about things, like you don't see any. It's very reasoned, like the way he approaches things. But he's just like chilled out, and he's like very self-deprecating and chilled out about it. But he had a very good point. He was like, that's not just a manipulation of the neck, like in terms of like cutting off the carotid artery.
Correct.
He's like, this is a manipulation of the spine. It's like a bit of a neck crank. And
Didn't even think about that.
He was talking about like, you look how he's got a hold of the head and how he goes, what I'm concerned with is if someone's going unconscious from some nerve shit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like from a neck crank. Like apparently he had seen a guy who had got neck cranked like that, and then afterwards the guy couldn't walk. He like couldn't move. It came back. But for moments, he couldn't move. And
See, this is shit we don't even think about. I'm like, dude,
exactly.
That's why he's Herb Dean.
He's the gold standard. It's Big John McCarthy and him, and Big John doesn't do it anymore.
So it's Herb Dean. Numero uno.
And just that, when you think about, and Askren says, what he says is that, see, that's nasty, dude.
That looks terrible.
That's nasty. With the way he's holding on to the head like that and cranking your neck.
I like that they're not rematching.
It's a very bad position.
I like that the UFC went, oh, all right, we're good.
Yeah.
I dig that.
I get it. I want to see it again. I disagree. I think that I agree with Herb's stoppage, and I see that the arm went limp, but then the thumb came up. But then as soon as he let go, Robbie jumped up. Usman had me convinced that Robbie was never out. But Herb had me convinced that it was too dangerous for him to allow to continue once the arm dropped in that weird way.
So do you side with Herb?
You have to side with Herb.
Yeah.
In that situation.
He's the expert.
You have to side with Herb. Because he's right. Because that is a special circumstance. See, I looked at it in terms, and I didn't even consider this when I was talking to Usman, that I looked at it in terms of it's just a choke.
Yeah.
And Herb was like, no, it's a neck crank.
Me too.
So... but still, I'd love to see it again.
I'd like to see it next. So if they both win, because Askren Masvidal,
I know
that doesn't get your dick hard.
No, Askren Masvidal's wild.
And then let's say Askren wins that, which is a tough fight to win.
That's a tough
fight. And then say Woodley and Lawler, say Lawler wins that, then they fight it. It's even bigger.